In this video, I will be covering the top 41 structures in RLCraft Dregora. There's hundreds of custom builds by the developer team who have a seething passion to build stuff from the ground up, and is one of the biggest reasons why Dregora is so different from normal RLCraft. I rated these based on loot, utility, and how easy they are to find because Dregora follows a generation map across all seeds using the one on screen, guaranteeing structures like the center of the world. I would like to start with some honorary mentions that are helpful for you. The broken wind turbine, which has an iron block on top, the phone tower with 3 iron blocks on top, the rotary excavator housing 4 chests of industrial loot, the witch boat storing a couple chests, brewing stand, and anvil. And finally, the gravestones that have a low chance to have books with exclusive special effects. Keep in mind, many chests share loot pools, and thus have a chance to get rare or valuable loot like flight potions, glowing ingots, or even legendary weapons. Check my legendary loot video for more info. Note that original RLCraft structures spawn in Dregora as well, but I won't cover them in this video to make them easier to identify in comparison. ¿Qué onda? It's Naninator. Let's get into it. At spot 41, we got the Ice Temple. Its impressive size catches any player's eye, begging to be explored. But that's the whole point. Walking into it will immediately trigger a trap of explosions and fill it with lava. The only loot worth getting here are the lapis lazuli blocks in the center and the TNT if you carefully mine around this structure. In spot 40, the Nymph House brings a beautiful building with some wicked lord within. Exploring will reveal the owner of the house performs unforgiving experiments on the villagers she captured inside. She is neutral, but since the nymph is guaranteed to be an infernal, it's easy to trap and defeat her for some free experience. There are a couple of chests that can have some early game loot too. 39 is claimed by the beautiful Sea Serpent House, which spawns in oceans. The bottom floor is covered in lapis lazuli as well as wool blocks, and the house on the top has 5 chests with food, ores, and iron items. A very nice find and uncommon spawn as well. The underwater base hosts lots of furniture. It houses a couple of chests with random loot that can give you some handy early game items. Given it is underwater, it can be tricky to get inside. By the point you can reliably access it, you likely won't need the items it can provide, earning it the 38th spot on the list. It is still very fun to explore though. Next we have the sister structure, the underwater house, claiming spot 37. It has a spherical shape instead, but has potential to have some high level loot in one of its chests. It also has lots of handy resources like books, a brewing stand, lava, an anvil, cauldron, and storage. It's pretty secure house to live in too, and can make for a fun playthrough. Up next is number 36, the nuclear power plant, specifically in Parasite biomes. It has some common bunker loot on its chests, but the main point of attraction is a high spawn rate of parasites they have. Given their armor components are highly sought after and the overworld parasites are the weakest in comparison to other dimensions, it can make it one of the safest ways to engage them or even adapt your sentient armor in the end game. I would steer clear from them before that, and may this serve as a warning for players exploring this biome. The villager bunker is a well-hidden structure whose only giveaway is a small rectangular subway-like entrance. But don't let it fool you. This is a pretty large structure with various villagers inside. It contains farms, various chests, libraries, and some special traders within as well. There is also a variant which has all villagers turned into zombies. Given it is hard to see, it earns its spot at place 35. The Viking Dock is basically a Viking-themed village with lots of hay bales. Easy to spot, but a rare spawn as it usually is confined to an island. These have varying sizes with the potential to be massive. Given the chance it has in size with a potential to have lots of resources, it sits on spot 34. Up next is number 33, the Floating Tree Dungeon, also known as Heaven's Doorstep. This structure is so beautiful it even has its own painting. Most players have likely seen this structure as it sticks out of the sky, and its huge size commonly spawns enemies in the grounded shadows below. It has various spawners that guarantee plant-based enemies like Spriggans, Trifrids, and the rare Tea Pumpkin. so make sure you have a Bezoar to avoid getting poisoned. It has 4 chests that can turn into mimics and house baubles commonly. You can also harvest the insane amount of wool from the balloons. I got to collect 7 stacks before I ran out of iron for shears. Spot 32 belongs to the Happy Times Industries mineshaft. It homes various tunnelers that keep on working on it, even after death. Yikes. A guaranteed source of wither bones and various gems that spawn at the bottom. These commonly have long corridors to the sides with various chests and TNT room traps. I enjoy exploring them since they have Traveler's Chest loot, which commonly has my favorite custom item, the Stonebreaker, which gives you a sustainable attack buff in exchange for speed in the offhand. It is often worth exploring these in the mid-game since they can sometimes be connected to the medieval underground village we will cover later. Just watch out for Grus and Banshees. On 31st place we have the Small Factory. This building has 3 variations to it. A great early game building to find since it has various spawners that are easy to break and collect a nice chunk of XP from. I like going to the roof and letting in some natural light to avoid them from triggering. However, they do often spawn husks that have a chance to drop the forbidden fruit bauble, saving you a potential trip to the desert. Spot 30 goes to the oil rig spawns in the ocean. Like the Small Factory, it spawns the same kinds of enemies inside, but has various more spawners to break. It also houses various chests with nuclear craft armors and tools. This is a great structure to break spawners from as well. Just be careful with the potential sea snakes that may decide to jump in on the fun as well. The harbor is a large village with more than a dozen chests. It has various coal and iron ore blocks to mine. Great to make some iron armor or basic tools with. An amazing start for any playthrough as you can easily get everything you need from here to start your travels or even get lucky with some runes, which had it land at structure number 29. The medieval underground sometimes connects to the Happy Time Industries mineshaft. These have various random sizes, which can sometimes be small within a chunk, but if you're lucky could end up to be 40 chunks, if not larger in size, at least from my personal experience. These are fantastic for trading and potentially finding legendary weapons. I like visiting these to get enchantments due to the high amount of villagers they can house too. Given their size as a coin flip, it took place 28 on the list. There are various radioactive bunkers in Dregora, but there are 2 that stick out in particular. The Special Bunker takes place 27. It only spawns in wastelands, so you should have some radioactive protection gear equipped already. What makes it so special is that it has a pre-built fission reactor ready to use or take. Having this guaranteed is a huge time saver for nuclear enthusiasts. It may interest players who will build sentient armor as well, as this is the easiest way to get lots of LEU-235 fuel inside the fission controller, since this is required to reset adaptations. Structure 26 is taken by the largest bunker I like to call the Omega Bunker. It can be tricky to spot given the exposed top on the surface, so it is very easy to miss. What makes it amazing is the large amount of resources it houses, including most of the important nuclear craft blocks like RTG generators, machines, and fission reactor objects. Utility blocks like sinks and fridges, special armor pieces like the soldier outfit, ancient artifacts for special villager trading, and a guide teaching you how to use nuclear craft's most important machines. I am always happy to see the large witch cabin. These spawn in swamps and have a witch spawner which is right by the entrance, making it easy to take out. It even comes with a cat inside. It has a brewing stand, a crafting stable, useful to skip flint tools early game, a furnace, and 4 chests that have a chance to spawn with baubles and legendary weapons. Do note, those 4 chests have a 50-50 chance to spawn each. Going back to the Parasite biome, there is a rare home that sometimes generates. I had trouble finding it, so I force spawned it here. From the outside, it looks like a simple house, but if you pull this candle, it will lead you to the secret room below, which is made out of more than 4 stacks of iron blocks. Great to make a beacon. This is what places it in spot 24. However, you should act quickly because the Parasite biome will start turning them all into Parasite blocks, making them essentially useless. Next up is the Sphere, taking spot 23. These spawn uncommonly in swamp biomes and are easy to spot. These have various Elder Geists and Gold Mobs that drop ancient coins and artifacts. There are 4 chests too, but they all usually contain undesirable loot. I just come to these for some easy experience and ancient coins. You may find some cubicle structures at times. These are known as maintenance shafts, and either take you to a series of long tunnels spanning thousands of blocks, or the variation I like that is home to many husk mobs, known as Aged Blight. They come equipped and can drop ancient coins, ancient artifacts, and soldier armor. The chests often house lots of useful items and coins as well. I often get a forbidden fruit or 2 out of these. AoE weapons are your best friend here, since standing on the ladder will make it hard for any of them to reach you. Great for XP as well, earning it spot 22. We will now travel to the underneath, looking for the bunkers you can find on the roof. Despite the dimension homing various dangerous mobs, it is easy to make a portal and relatively safe. If you prefer yourself and stick to the roof, you will find these common structures that have 18 industrial containers and 3 ancient artifacts on top of a chest, all of which are guaranteed. It may help to know that the material these are made out of can't be broken by parasites, so unless one spawns unluckily inside, they shouldn't be able to get to you. The large rewards versus medium risk set it at spot 21 in the list. The first brutal trader structure is a trader swamp on spot 20. It unfortunately often spawns near water or poison ooze, which invites various mobs to attack the villagers. Despite that, it has various resources. Personally, I usually look for the 2 guaranteed gem traders in hopes of finding a purple rune trade to make a warp stone, or the Neptunium nugget trade to make Neptunium armor and a stone of the sea. Do note there is a waystone in the entrance you can use, various crates you can open, chests, and some ore blocks you can claim. For Structure 19, we go over one of 3 dungeons of the Beasts, at least that is what they're titled. But I will refer to this one in particular as the Green Monster Dungeon, given its name of its guardian. It is the home of spiders, strays, and skeletons, making it a great resource of treasures, due to the various scattered chests that is, potential rings of overclocking, bezoars, and an enchanted book given the boss as a champion. In case you didn't know, champions guarantee a random enchanted book drop per difficulty star under their name, which can just be lucky enough to give you a god tier enchant. Cross your fingers, close your eyes, and hope it's Supreme Sharpness 5. The next structure is another dungeon I call Plains Pyramid in honor of the monsters' names. This one has lots of magma blocks, useful to keep your home warm, make strength rings, or set up cinder farms as these blocks burn forever. It has various easy to spot chests, especially in the first floor. Lots of weather skeletons for weather bones, and since it is a bit more spacious and has more treasures than the previous dungeon, it got placed as number 18. The Trader Silo is a neat brutal villager structure that is very safe and a great spot to live in. Given it reaches below Y level 31, you can live down here without having to worry about temperature. It comes pre-packed with an entrance defended by iron golems too. Most villagers are easy to find due to its compact nature, placing it in number 17. The World Center is my favorite structure to visit and live on in single-player worlds. This is because it offers resources from 8 different biomes within walking distance. It has a waystone, a guaranteed villager making it easier to set up a breeder, ice to make ice armor to fight the heat, guaranteed iron ore, pre-planted farmland, sand for glass, and a myriad of other useful resources. You can get some useful items from a dropper below the waystone and potentially good loot from the frozen boat as well. As a last bonus tip, bringing your Atlas here will auto-mark all 7 Abyssal Gates, also known as World Teleporters, on it. This particular structure lands at spot 16. Now let me introduce you to the Brutal Trader Club, a personal favorite. This structure is pretty large and is one of the best places to find gem traders, as they spawn the most in this structure. It has a waystone near the entrance and various dancer mobs that inflict 0 damage but are infernals. Since they are easy targets, they are great for loot and free EXP. With a bit of luck, you may just get an Ender Crown from them too. This earned them spot 15. Just make sure you don't use up all your emeralds in one visit. 14 goes to the Trader Castle. Given its versatile brutal traders, amazing defenses, and sizable amount of chests, it is a great fortress to safely rest in or even live in. Starry Sky Castle, as its name suggests, spawns on the sky, usually in ocean biomes. For its small size, it houses various wares including a guardian for vitamin bottles, sirens for their scales, and Starry the Evoker himself, who drops his special staff. The only structure I know of that spawns fairies, which you can put in jars, as well as the only place I know of in which you can get a bee. It doesn't do anything, but I think it's cool. Be wary of the treasure room trap at the bottom of the castle, as it will lead to a freefall. I often find the trap already triggered most of the time, however. A nice structure overall. The Pirate Bay is home of wither skeletons, zombified villagers, and bountiful treasures. Given these are all enemies which are easy to tower up and defeat, you can claim a sustainable amount of experience. The ship flags contain lots of wool, perfect to trade with fishermen for lots of bonus experience, and the boats contain lots of ore blocks including emeralds and gold. To top it all off, there are many chests in the ship's hull waiting to be claimed by you, the player. All this together gives it spot 12. Now closing into our top structures, we have the red and black pirate ship. A small structure, but one with various spawners, most of which contain strays and husks. This is one of the best sources of forbidden fruits and overclocking rings, which are otherwise hard to find. It is also very easy to farm by just breaking the dock and poking at the mobs from the top. Due to the experience and high potential of your baubles, it takes spot 11. The last dungeon of the beasts takes spot 10. Smaller than the other two dungeons, this one acts as a huge trap riddled with lots of TNT and lava. These have two Elder Guardian spawners that disable your ability to mine, so taking a couple buckets of milk is recommended. You can use your vitamin bauble drops for lots of spectral silk and easily find the 5 chests within. Just tread carefully as you don't want to get trapped in the treasure room. I like it because it is easy to loot once you know how to find the treasure room. There are various biomes that can spawn large, modern-looking buildings which spawn parasites. These are dangerous, but sometimes contain treasure for players to claim. These chests have a pretty high chance to have good loot, making up the risk with a considerable reward, although less dangerous than their underneath versions. I usually steer clear of these unless I am in the late mid-game. The Frozen Boat, another one of my personal favorite structures. It does not seem like much from the outside, but these boats are filled to the brim with loot. So much so, the chests even connect with each other, forming triple or even quadruple chests. I often find myself traveling to the frozen Abyssal Gate teleporter to go to the guaranteed icy biomes that spawn these. These boats are protected with a couple of strays, giving you a chance at an overclocking ring too. Given they have such a high concentration of amazing loot, are incredibly easy to find, and even have a decent chance at legendary weapons, they earn their 8th place in the list. The Herbalist Hut is special, given it is the only structure that homes herbalist villagers. They offer various exclusive trades themed around plants, the best one being the potential Lucky Clever trade, which for 2 grass will give you this bauble only obtainable from mimics otherwise. The bottom floor has a treasure room with 3 chests and lots of gem blocks including emeralds, gold, and lapis. This hut hosts 3 secrets though. The first one lies right before the treasure room. There's a secret trapdoor to a small dungeon where a Vindicator performs experiments on some villagers. In here, you can get the Vile Cannibal's Cleaver and the Blood Fillet Knife. These weapons have the rare Ancient Sword Mastery enchantment, with which some enchantment juggling can help be potentially passed onto weapons. The second secret lies within the well. If you dare venture here, prepare yourself to clean up some skeletons and zombies to claim the Excalivaxi. The third and last secret lies in the lava pathway below. The main feature being the Miner's Room, which has a Fortune Seeker, which comes pre-packed with Fortune 4 and 2 stone pickaxes as well, one of which has Silk Touch to this enchant. If you go to this chair next to the magma blocks of the main hut and dig straight down, you will end up in said room. Known by many and remastered from the original RLCraft, we have the Gorgon Temple. This building received an entire overhaul. Now a huge dungeon riddled with traps and dangerous mobs like Geckons, Ramens, Darklings, Elder Guardians, Sirens, and the star herself, the Gorgon, which is guaranteed to be blighted, by the way. Honestly, there's too much to list here. A very dangerous dungeon that guarantees 3 strong diamond weapons with decent enchants. These are the Harpy Greatsword, Copus Saber, and Zeiston Spear and Pedestals, which are surrounded by bountiful treasure and even more traps. Dregora has 7 Abyssal Gates per world, whose main function is to teleport you to one of the guaranteed biomes a couple of thousand blocks away. They always spawn in the same location and heavily tied to the world lore. They home Vindicators equipped with Molten Axes and a pair of Evokers, making them a nice source of emeralds, but much more dangerous than a regular Vindicator. There is a room with 11 industrial crates. This has its high place due to its teleports, of course, but since this is based off of an end portal, you can remove the runes and add the Eyes of Ender, allowing you to override it to go to the end without having to hunt for the stronghold. This will likely be patched later on though. The medieval port city, also known as Origin, lands in Spot 4. This is a huge structure that makes justice to its name and is beautiful in my opinion. The main points of interest are the treasure room in the King's Castle and a small bonus secret room behind this wall. And on the opposite side, there's another secret end portal room guarded by a wither skeleton spawner. Do note that there is a trap that will be activated if you get too close to the portal. You can also activate it by using Eyes of Ender. There's a large concentration of free chests in the boat, especially under the hold, the market, and a secret chest in the bottom of the torture chambers behind this sand block, and the catacombs beneath the church. You can also find Dregora's creators villagers here with Eagle in the prison offering soul sand in exchange for a beacon, nudging at his experiences with his brother, and Heaven as a mayor selling gizmo potions, which is a reference to his cat who would often come in the middle of the night to his window to loudly meow and annoy his entire family. The potions suggest to be given to him to get him to stop. Daeroc Village is the largest village you can find with vast fields you can get lots of experience from. Many chests with high tier loot with various secrets lying within. The second hiding the biggest secret in this kingdom. A rich noble's house with 2 rooms. The first, a treasure room with lots of golden chests. And the second one leading to an entire secret set of experiments and operations in a huge underground layer. There are too many things to list here, but the highlights are the secret end portal room and a very long nether portal. Before moving on, it is worth mentioning almost every house has a chest to loot, so have fun exploring this location. Going into the underneath dimension once more, it hosts various modern buildings of the world left behind. These are the definition of high risk, high reward. In comparison to their overall version, all of these contain chests. Unfortunately, every chest literally has a parasite spawner right beneath it, but the loot inside rarely disappoints. There is a high concentration of items here, including the potential of brutal coins, glowing ingots, rare baubles, hard to craft potions, and legendary weapons. I highly discourage players from visiting this place unless they are utmost prepared, as this is one of the last endgame locations you want to be in, or at least able to survive. Myriads of waves of enemies inhabit the dimension, which also means lots of experience. I wish you the best of luck. The last structure, known by many as well as the poster child of Dregora, is the famous Brutal Tower, which in the game files is interestingly called the Abyssal Tower. This is a structure required to be explored and conquered by the players who wish to beat this mod pack. This is due to being the only reliable source of brutal coins and a player needing 12 in total to fight the final boss. This huge dungeon has lots of bosses and rewards for any stage in the game, like ancient coins, high tier enchants, rare baubles, enchanted medkits, syntheticite lanterns, dragon bone blocks, and lots of ores. These exclusively spawn in Parasite biomes, host enemies with various negative effects, bosses that will test your skill, and puzzles to prove your intellect. Beating the Brutal Tower is no small feat and will act as your gateway to the endgame. I wish you, my friend, the best of luck on your conquest, because once you truly get to the treasure room, you will certainly feel like a king. These are all the top structures in RLCraft Dregora labeled from 41 to 1. There were other structures that if you didn't see in this video are likely newer, very small, or I missed them. I am only human. There are guaranteed generations for some structures you can find mentioned by books you find as treasure too, but on rare occasion fail to generate. Thank you all so very much to support me via comments, donations, streams, and memberships as for those seen on the screen. It is my delight to bring these kinds of videos to you. This was a hard yet fun one to make. That being said, if you want to know the special loot exclusive to Dregora, check out this video. Ahí los guacho vatos!